Hello and welcome back to our channel. In today's video we're on board this lovely Fairline Targa 43. This is one of my favourite designs from Fairline, so join us for a full tour and I think you'll be impressed with the condition of this boat, so let's go. So we're going to start today's video stood down here on the transom of this Fairline. Now you'll have spotted the big sun pad in the drone there. Now this boat does have a garage. Inside this garage is a Williams mini jet, so in a minute I'll lift that up. But just look at the curves of this boat, look at the design detail. Everywhere you look there's lots of nice little angles, my favourite being the top of the windscreen, but we'll show you that later on. And it's just one of those boats that works well as a design. I like this little seat here. You know, you've got this really nice little seat here. I mean, what a lovely place, sit back a bit, what a lovely place to sit, look aft on the boat. Really, really nice little detail. You've got the teak here, it was replaced a couple of years ago on the platform. So unlike a lot of boats of this age where the teak's worn out, on this one, it's in really, really nice condition. You've got decent sized cleats matching in the rail here as you come down. So the rail comes down, then you've got the cleat nicely in the middle. There's a little teak step here just on the back corners, which just really does help getting on and off the boat. I'm going to open the garage for you now, so I'm just going to walk up into the cockpit. Nathan's there on the drone, so I'm just going to open this now and you'll see how easy this is to operate. It uses a winch system to get that tender in and out of the garage. But here we're lifting it up and you'll see in there there's a Williams mini jet. So very, very cool feature, very James Bond. And for those that like a garage, on this size of boat, that's a really good sized garage to have. All hydraulically operated. You can see there the operation of that garage door, all nice and smooth. Putting it back down. There we go. So I'm sure you'll agree, from what you've seen so far, this is a really nice looking boat. I keep saying that and I will say it a lot more in this video, I'm sure. But I'm going to switch now to the GoPro. Nathan's going to get the drone landed and we'll continue the tour of the cockpit, so keep watching. Nathan has now landed the drone and whilst that's being packed away, I'm going to start showing you through the cockpit. You've already seen the platform from the drone and me talking through that, but on top of this garage, as I've previously mentioned, you've got this lovely sun pad. There is another cushion that goes at the base of there. It's not on board today, but there is another cushion that goes in there. But it's a really nice place to be. And the cockpit itself is a good size. You can see here we've got this sort of semi-elliptical seating area with a teak fold-out table. And I mentioned in the intro, this is just in such nice condition. Everywhere you look, the owner of this boat we've known for a long time, both the current owner and the previous owner, and it's just everywhere you look, she's in just really, really nice condition. The upholstery is all nice and clean. It was updated a few years ago, but it's all nice and clean. And it's the detailing here. You've got the ridges in the fabric, but then you've got this extra roll here. So it's all that nice original detailing which has been kept on the boat. The radar arch facing backwards means you get this huge forward bimini top. So we've taken out the sides today and the windscreen and they are all in good condition, but it's nice, it is quite warm today, and it's with that forward bimini on, you can see here you've got lots of shade over this area where you might be dining or relaxing. Underneath the floor here we've got access to the engines. There is another engine room access on the starboard rear side which we'll look at later, but when we go back in the marina I will lift that up. In fact I can probably do it now actually, if I lift that up while we're just out at sea. Now it's only me and Mark on board at the moment in the cockpit, but if I just put that through there you can see the engines, they're just ticking over, all nice and clean. We'll talk about the engine room a little bit more later on and we'll go and do a full look around in there. But it's just nice to show you the access that you've got here in the cockpit. If I just come slightly further forward now, and then you're looking aft, but just look at that, it's such a lovely design, this boat, it really is. I like the way that the bars for the bimini top, they look really strong. They're in this slide system here. If you do want to fold that away, they all fold back onto the radar arch like so, and then they'd be tucked back there. So if you have got a really, really hot day, or you just want all the covers off, then you can do that. Looking at what we've got here, move my phone out of the way, we've got the wet bar area. So we've got a sink in here. It's a hot and cold sink. Now it's got the owner's bits and pieces in there, there's connectors, a knife in there as well, but it's a really nice place to be located in the cockpit there. You've also got this huge fridge unit, so you can see some bottles of champers in there, some chocolate, what more could you want? But that is there to serve the seating area, so it's nicely located for that. Underneath here you've got the main battery isolator switches. You've also got your holding tank macerator pump out buttons in there as well, but it's quite a nice bit of storage. You can see there we've got a few bits in there as well. This boat does have a garage, which you already saw on that intro, so we won't look at that again, but that's where you might have seen me earlier on pushing the buttons, but that's where you can control that. What else can I show you up here? We've got the port side little co-pilot seat, quite a nice little snug seat there facing the helm. The helm seat is definitely a one seat position, but you could certainly have somebody else perching there for you as well. Mark's kindly stepped out of the way for a minute, so I'm going to jump up to the helm and guide you through this. Now you'll see here at some point this boat's had the dash updated with this carbon fibre, which looks really smart. You've got one of my favourite nav screens on board this boat, which is a Raymarine C120. I just love how simple these are. They're super easy to operate, and it's a really nice clear screen as well. And you can see here we're just in the lee of the Imperial Hotel, which is one of our favourite filming spots, especially on a day like today. You've got the switch gear here, so you've got lighting. Some of these are a little bit faded, but you can still just about make them out, and you could put new stickers on there if you wanted to. On the top here you've got your tridata, and then the boat does have autopilot, so you can see here we're just in manual standby mode, but auto there if you wanted to. Fire extinguisher override system, and then directly in front of the helm position itself you've got some, your fuel gauge. You've got twin fuel tanks on board this boat. You've got your freshwater gauge in the middle there, your alternator readouts, and then slightly further up on the dash you've got another piece of carbon with the engine temperatures, which all look good. Hours are showing on the starboard engine 733. On the port engine, standard on this generation of gauge, and the hours tend to be hidden. Sometimes they do sometimes appear, but they are showing clearly on the starboard at 733. And then you can see also the oil pressures down there as well. So all as you'd expect. Now, I mentioned the boat had a few updates over the winter. One of the updates was a brand new VHF, which is tucked down here on the helm, nicely positioned out of the way. And engines, everything feels nicely to hand. One feature I really want to point out on these Targa 43s, I love this profile on the top of the windscreen. It's almost like an aerofoil type shape, and it just looks really chunky and really nicely done. It's a nice piece of design. I really do like that. And then you've got the tracking here for the covers we mentioned earlier on. We'll try and get a bit of that later on when we put the covers back on, even if it's just a photo. Bow thruster, of course, up there on the helm as well. So it's really got everything you would possibly want, even a small chart table up in front of the helm. I like the way here you've got that Targa branding on that little piece there, and pretty much a one-piece windscreen. So you've got those A-pillar sections, but that main section of screen is one massive piece, and that's really probably was way ahead of its time when that was launched. Up on the foredeck, you can, if you wanted to, have a couple of sunbathing pads. We'll double check whether the owner's got those. They're not on board today, but if you wanted to have those up there, that would be a great space to be. Talking of which, I think before we go down and have a look in the cabins, I'm just going to take you up on the side deck. So here, I'm just going to show you what I do. First thing I do is grab, there's a nice handrail here to grab onto and walk up. I've got a little bit of exposure before the rail there, but I've got another grab rail here. Some Targa 43 branding on the side there of the windscreen section. And just walking now up onto the foredeck. Nice to do, easy to do. All looks nice and clean and tidy. You've got the standard sort of Fairline, it's very typical Fairline with these fluted sections on that forward sunbathing area. And that's a handsome looking boat, this really is. You'll have seen that in the drone footage, and of all the boats in the marina, this is one of those. I just think it just works right. The layout works, the look of it works. You see that section of the windscreen coming around there that I just mentioned. Some windscreen wipers, electric anchor winch. We're not anchoring today, we don't need to, but if you wanted to, then you've got an anchor. This just lifts up. We've chucked the fenders in there for a minute, but you can see that's all nice and tidy. Got deck switches. There's also switches on the helm. It's all nice and tidy. It's all very clean. If you're looking for one of these, this has got to be worth coming to see. It really has. So I think on that note, let me get back in the cockpit. We're going to do some more drone footage, and then we're going to head in, and when we get in I'll do the cabin space and we'll show you all through that space there as well. So yeah, keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We are now back in the marina, and before I dive downstairs, I just wanted to show you we're putting the covers back on, or we have, Nathan has so far. We've just got these sides in. They're pretty straightforward. They go into the track down the side here and then just pop her along, and then we're just putting this big windscreen piece in, so it'll sit there, and then basically it poppers onto the top of that centre section with these clips. I feel guilty, but I'm going to leave Nathan doing that windscreen cover, and I'm going to take you downstairs, down into the saloon. The cleanliness and tidiness and presentation of this boat continues below decks, and you're greeted with a nicely sized saloon. So you've got the teak and holly steps there leading you down into this saloon space. You've got these do lift up, that top one there, so you have got a bit of storage. You've got a bin in there if you wanted to use it. Sorry, drop that. But it's a really nice saloon. You've got another folding table here like you've got in the cockpit. The veneer is all in nice condition, as you can see. Tiny little bit of blooming there on the table, but tiny amount. The lacquer itself on the cabinetry, like I say, is all in good order. You can actually see me in the reflection there. You've got these lockers here, which are all a bit of storage. So the remote there about to fall out. Save that one. So that goes up there. But it's all in good order. You've got Venetian blinds. Down on the sides here, they're up at the moment, and then you can see around the portholes. If you're looking for one of these, you'll know that that is an area that often suffers. You get the drips on this material here and it ruins it, but on this it's all in really good condition. You've got the Fairline control panel. We've spoken about this on one of our Targa 38s video recently. All nicely laid out here. You can see it's all labelled, so you can see here we've got obviously the original CD or a CD player. Boat's got a generator, so you've got a generator start stop here. And then you've got your other switch gear here. I won't go through every single switch, but you can see here we've got 240 volts coming in. We've got 12 amps on the domestic side. And then we've got to put the batteries on the engine batteries as well. They're showing really good condition. Leather's in nice condition, talking about down here as well. All feels very fresh. And then you've got the standard Fairline over carpet. So underneath this carpet, you've actually got more Berber carpet. You've got access panels there to the floor if you want to use it. But it's all in good condition. Port side, we've got the galley arrangement. You've got the electric hob there, so that works if you wanted to use the generator. Underneath here, you've got a microwave and a couple of drawers. So you've got a nice, probably been updated at some point, instruction manual in there, looks immaculate. Underneath here, we've got a couple of drawers. You've got all nicely laid cutlery in there. And then underneath there, a bit more storage, but it's all nice and clean. You can see it's all tidy, it's all clean. The galley floor, to pull out to give you two hands for that probably. The galley floor is also teak and holly, which looks really smart. It's not chipped, it's not dented, and it's in good condition. You've got a twin sink arrangement here in the galley. Another porthole, again, with the condition of the side lining, all very nice. More storage in those top boxes. Down here, going in towards the aft cabin, we've got a fridge. So you can see here you've got the main galley fridge. Couple of bottles of wine in there. Again, super clean, super tidy, which is nice. Before I take you into the forward cabin, we're going to jump down into this aft twin cabin. So I've got good head height, first observation coming in here. And you can see how the boat's presented by the owners at the moment. You've got nice bed linen, nice towel setups. Again, I can see here, you perhaps can't tell on the camera, but the porthole at the other end of the bed, again, is all nice and clean around. And it all smells fresh, all smells nice and clean and fresh. You've got a wardrobe here, so a bit of hanging space. You can see even got the original, blimey, got the original Fairline boxes there from when she was new. So good bit of storage in there. I'll put that bucket back in a second. Even the mirrors, you know, for this age of boat, sometimes you get some damage on the edge of the mirrors, but even those are in good condition. In this aft cabin, there is a little seat here. So you've got this seat, little vanity section in there. Going slightly further forward now, this is a two heads boat, so there's two bathrooms on board. There's a day heads here, which is in this slightly curved door. Turn the lights on for you. So you can see you've got a toilet and shower combination in here. You've got the toilet there, which is an electric flush, and this also doubles as a shower area if you wanted to. I mentioned those mirrors earlier on in the aft cabin, but again, if you look here, if I just slowly pan that round, again, they're all in nice condition, and even that smells lovely and fresh, and it looks immaculate. Taking you slightly further forward into the forward cabin, you've got good head height again all the way forward into this cabin. If I just shut the door behind me a little bit, just pan the camera around now, you've got storage in these little vanity sections. Again, all the side linings are in great condition. The head linings, you'll know, on these often suffer from sagging, but again, it's all in really, really good condition. Again, all very clean and tidy. Some hanging wardrobe space there. Dehumidifier in there, it's obviously been on at some point. Common theme with these portholes, no leaking on those. Look, it's just in superb condition. There is air conditioning on the boat as well. I haven't mentioned that, but you have got air conditioning. Almost need it today with the heat of the sun. Now, this is the ensuite to the master cabin. The main difference in this is you've got a pull-round shower. So in the day heads, it's a wet room, and here you do have a pull-round shower cubicle, which is a nice addition. And again, I keep saying it, but very clean, very tidy. Credit to the owners, both current and past, on this one. Television here hanging down from this ceiling mount in the saloon, so not a major thing. You're not going to watch huge amounts of television on board, but it's nice to have if you did want to catch up on any sport, etc. down here. But just try and take it all in. I think it's just interesting when you see a boat like this. It's a pleasure to film because everywhere you look's tidy. We haven't done any prep work on this. This is exactly as we found it this morning. There is actually a deck light. I can let some more light in. GoPro's suffering on that light, but it's just really clean, really tidy. So if you're interested in a 43, this boat needs to be seen. I did promise you earlier on a quick look in the engine room, so I'm going to shimmy up here and go and show you that now. Before I show you the engine space, I forgot to show you there is an electric griddle up here in the cockpit. So you've got the electric griddle here with one of those cooking sheets on top, but it's nicely positioned here. If you were cooking, you'd have the covers off, and then perhaps a reason to take this booming off because you could let any smoke up, but it's nice and clean. Keep saying clean, but it is nice position as well. So we'll head down now into the engine room. When we were out at sea, I gave you a quick sneak peek into the engine room, but now we've come back into the marina, it's a bit easier to open the hatch and just lean in and show you. So we've got a pair of TAMD 75 EDCs. So this is being one of the later Targa 43s that was ever built. This is obviously the later generation of engines. Now, first things first, they look clean and tidy. She has been fully serviced for the 25 season. She's also had some work done on the exhaust system, so that's all up and running. And I have to say, going out there today, she felt smooth. The gear changes coming in and out of the berth, all very, very smooth. And having the twin access here, so you can see here I'm sat in the cockpit, but there is that other inspection hatch on the starboard side. I'm just going to try and get down here if I can, just whilst holding the camera, so bear with. If I just come down here a bit without injuring myself. Might indeed be some lights down here, but if I just bring you down here, you can see, yes, it's cosy, not a huge amount of room, and you've got the garage overhanging here, so that's where your Williams is. But you can get down in here. I have to check. I know I said before that you've got access to the engine room from that starboard rear quarter. I don't actually think you can get this far, but let's go and have a look in that hatch in a minute and see what we can find. But the engines, like I say, all look clean and tidy. Engine mounts all look good. I can't see any oil in the bilge, so I have to say, yeah, as with the rest of the boat, nice to see. So let me jump out of here and I'll take you up and have a look in that starboard side locker. I've just undone the covers of it when Nathan's put on, so I'm just going to lift up this hatch here that I thought was engine access. Okay, so I wasn't completely wrong. Yes, it is access to a storage area. It can't actually get as far forward as the engine room, but you can get to the exhaust system, and effectively here you're underneath the garage. So again, good for storage, and there are certainly some systems in there, battery chargers also in there, but it's nice to have easy access to that space. So pop that back down, put your pallet that way. Got that down shut now, and let's go and have a quick look at the hull. We're back on the berth. One thing you can't really get a sense of on the drone is just the shine on the gel coat. Now, she hasn't been washed off this morning, but the shine is really deep luster. You can just, if I bring that round a bit, you can get an idea there, the shine on the gel coat. Nice tidy fenders, nice lines. You can see the hull as well. It's important on these blue hulls. You can see that's all in really good condition. Going around the boat, can't really see any marks at all. These back corners are all in great condition. So that's the starboard side. And then this is the port side, bit of dust, a bit of spray from when we've just been out, but on the whole, I'm very, very clean, and certainly no huge damages on there at all. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video. We've certainly enjoyed making it. It's always a pleasure to film boats of this standard that are in this condition. We've got the covers back on now, which you can see are also in great nick. If you're interested, you'll have seen our details during the video over the screen, but the full listing will also be in the description below. Please do subscribe. We really do appreciate anyone that subscribes to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, leave us a comment. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see more of. We appreciate the feedback. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again very soon. And for now, over and out.